We are just going to be going over a few things here, talking about my story as a personal gamer and what sort of problems I had when I was finding teams. And we're going to go over, we have a special guest here. We have Team Scorch. And you guys are, what rank on Game Battles?
We're rank 8.
Rank 8. Okay. This is a team that we helped build back in January this year, and they've had tremendous success in just a small amount of time. We also have another gamer who's been with us for a little bit and used our service in the past and can add his experience of how we do things here at ETP. So without further ado, this is going to be a live Q&A. You can ask us any questions here in the chat or send them directly to my PlayStation ID here, Saint_Majito, or direct message us on our Twitter of ETPCOD. So a little bit about myself. I started playing competitively back in 2014, right after Ghost had been released. My cousin and I had formed the team and had one of our friends that we had met in Black Ops 2 League play join us as well. We went to MLG's free agent list and went through almost 20 gamers in the course of 2 months as we were searching for more people that could be our third and fourth people, and who are either as good as us. We spent a lot of time trying to evaluate people, and we didn't really find these people. They didn't have the same skill level or the same mindset or the same equipment, and they didn't have the desire to want to become professional gamers. And so eventually we did find one good player who became our fourth, and for the next 3 months, right before we transitioned to Advanced Warfare, we were playing competitively for almost 40 to 70 hours a week with the intention of making this our career. So we're shooting to go to MLG Anaheim and a few other major events that were offered every single year. But we were unable to coordinate our schedules to get off time or work to go to these events. And so we missed out on huge opportunities as gamers to really make kind of get our print on becoming professional gamers. And a little bit about that. Shortly after, just a couple months later, we lost one of our gamers again. He just kind of stopped playing, and we found ourselves to be in the same cycle of just trying to find other gamers, trying to find that fourth person, trying to complete that team so we can go to major events once again. And at that point, I started going to a lot of LAN tournaments, a lot of free-for-alls, and a lot of double tournaments here in Washington. And was placing first, second, and third. I've won trophies, cash prizes, portable TVs, and been a really great experience. And during that time, I also had the grand opportunity of just running these tournaments as well, and figuring out how they were being just ran, I guess, in the sense that when you have teams come in, who's playing who, and how it progresses, and writing the brackets, and giving out prize money and things like that. It was a pretty cool experience. Unfortunately, though, I never returned to the competitive scene of gaming with a full group of 4 people to go to major LAN events. And so I wanted to make sure that this is not what people experience in their career of becoming a professional gamer. We noticed that there's just a lack of team building, and there's not a service that really delves into that perfect team. It's not a lot of major platforms that exist today with like Major League Gaming and UMG Gaming. They focus primarily upon the enthusiast of the gamers and not so much on the gamers themselves. The only way that you get really known is going to one of those LAN tournaments and placing. And it's very hard if you don't have a steady team to help you get that or have that same mentality of becoming professional gamers. So you gotta find the right people, put in the time, and work on all your differences together, and really be better than everybody else. And so I've asked Team Scorch here, like I mentioned earlier, they were part of our service back in January of this year, and they've stayed together within these last few months and made some tremendous success in just a short amount of time. And I wanted to ask them, from their perspective, a few questions of how they have mentally stayed tough and stayed together, and how being in the time zone and location has really helped them progress as a team, not just from using us as a service for them, but also for themselves. and going into things. So guys, if you don't mind sharing, talking a little bit about yourself and, how you guys are now one of the top ranked teams in game battles.
Do you want to go first or you want me to go?
You go.
Alright, so, hi everybody, my name is Scorch Rare. I'm a player for Team Scorch and the leader of Team Scorch. Two of our members actually aren't here right now at the moment, but we started off originally just getting into competitive, right? And we originally just played Search and Destroy, and I'm going to tell you guys how Elite to Pro originally helped me and my teammates improve a lot more into potentially, well actually not potentially, but actually becoming the number 8th ranked team on game battles. We originally, when we first started into it, we just played Search and Destroy, and the fact that you play multiple game modes such as Hardpoint, Uplink, game modes like that variant, that really helped us improve a lot. And since we're trying to go pro, all of us, we're all related of some sort. That really helped us a lot, and we've been able to progress further and further up the ladder of game battles, essentially. Us as a team, we've all been together, we've known each other. The way that it's kind of like a perfect story, but we all go to the same high school, essentially, right? And we all have the same goal of becoming a pro, and usually I find that rare of like people teaming with local people. That rarely works because of the fact that some people, they move on, they have different interests, right? And if you're gonna look for a team, for example, through this service, you're encountering people who have the same mindset as you, who want to actually achieve something. But when you're looking for people like local, their mindset can change unless like you know for a fact their goal. And I feel like we were just one of those rare teams that I guess we've been able to team for a while, and then Elite Pro helped us improve and got us really better.
Yeah, well, thanks for your experience there, and definitely add it too. So we're just going to go delve a little bit to the service itself and what essentially I do. So it's really nice that we get to provide the opportunity for gamers to come in on a neutral platform, no matter any skill level they are, and help them find the teammates based upon the criteria that we've asked them. And it's really nice. It gives us an opportunity to meet the gamers and help them promote themselves through the use of different social media, as well as using all the tools and resources that we give to them. So just a few milestones here. We just hit over 100 signups on our site over the course of the last year. We've only done a few iterations of actual team building with the gamers, and this right now we're working with our max capacity of 40 gamers at one time. And I know that a lot of people had questions about the service, so I'm just going to break that down. And then I have another gamer who's been through this service before, and I just want to have him share a few things too once I go over how we break things down. So one thing that we've done in the past, what we do now, is we go through two different phases. We have a phase of an evaluation phase where we basically put you on preliminary teams, and if you're familiar with Black Ops 2 at all, you'd be put into a lobby of just 8 random people. We're not going to tell you who you are, we're just going to tell you what time to show up and play. This way there's no bias, there's no pre-thought out skill. It's just you're just competing, and we're going to put you through the different game modes of competitive play. You're going to play a hardpoint game, a search and destroy game, and an uplink game. And for everybody's experience, you just do this. It takes about 1 hour, and we'll try to schedule at least multiple iterations with different gamers you may or may not play with again. And then at the end of the week, the phase 1 will be complete after we got through all 40 gamers. During this time for the phase 2, we're going to start using our matchmaking criteria to place you with the best teammates based upon how you want to find teammates, and whether you want to play with people who are in the same time zone, if you want to play people with this criteria or that criteria, and we do all this for you. And then as we have that information, we release that information to you and introduce you guys as a new team. From there, I have consultations with each new team and tell you why you guys have been put together, where I think you guys should go from here, and using social media to help leverage yourselves and how to get more practice. So we offer all the teams weekly matches, where you can use our platform to sign up for any time that you want. and any team that we have that's part of Elite to Pro is allowed to do that. And so we'll designate a leader for your team, and we'll designate a roadmap of how you can gain better success as a team and staying together. And so that's pretty much how it works. And I want to invite a fellow here named Alone to talk about his experience and maybe a little bit how it all goes and how it went for him. So Alone, if you don't mind sharing a little bit of your experience.
I mean, for me at first, everything was kind of rough. I mean, whenever I first came to you, I just got back into playing competitive. I had played competitive since Modern Warfare 2, and I was having some issues at first finding teammates because, I mean, quite frankly, nobody wants a free agent with no information on GB, like no prior wins, no prior teams or nothing. Nobody wants that for their team. So I was struggling at first, personally. And then whenever I got with you, of course, you base everything off the skill level within a couple games. And at first, my teammates, they just weren't reliable, so I floated around for a little while. You had some issues putting me on a team, but after you finally got me a team, we had a decent solid 4, and then we ended up dropping 1. But the nice thing for me about the whole program was the fact that I didn't have to worry about finding teammates myself. But then again, at the other hand, every time you sent me a teammate, I could be like, no, this dude isn't what I'm looking for, or he was. Like, and it was nice to be able to have the help to find teammates, because otherwise it is definitely a struggle when you're first getting into it, and even after you're getting into it. I mean, me and my teammates now, we're sitting all at like 30 and 40 Ks on GB. We all have good records. We're all stellar players, and we're still struggling to find a 4th at the moment. Like, we've been looking for a 4th for probably the past 2 weeks, and we can't find a 4th that is suitable for us. So like now we're sitting here, we're looking on Twitter, we're looking on GB, we're looking on UMGs,
right.
We're looking everywhere for a teammate. And I mean, we've came across a few, and we've yet to try out a couple people, but it's just a struggle, you know, like,
right.
Versus whenever you start your program back up, you can just send us somebody, we can try them out for a day or 2, and then I can either send them back to you or I can keep them. And it's that portion of it has always been nice.
Right.
Just the whole experience coming through your program has helped me get farther as a gamer, just because of the plain fact that I didn't have to waste all my time finding a team. I was able to get my name through your program, have you hook me up with people that were at my same skill level, which everybody wants to play with either better people or people at their same skill level. So it was nice to be able to go directly through you versus having to find my own people who have never played competitive before in their life.
Right, and I'm glad you touched on that too. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it is a struggle to find the right teammates. And I know from personal experience too that you're looking on social media, you're looking on the free agents list, you're asking your friends at school, you know, you're going through all these different things, and it's really hard to find teammates. So it's really great when you have one platform where you know that they'll help you find those teammates, right? When you know that, hey, I just need one person. Hey, can you find me one teammate? We just want this criteria. Here's the criteria that we want, and can you do that? You know, and you approached me a few days ago, right, and said, hey, we're looking for a 4th, right? And I will you keep an eye out for us? And that's exactly what we do. You know, we look for either people who are already together, help them form the rest of their team, or people who are just coming in as a gamer to help and just form teams.
Yep. I know whenever your program had ended the first time, it was me and 2 other guys, and we were struggling to find a 4th. I mean, I spent probably a good 3 or 4 weeks doing nothing but like spending time on GBs looking through the free agents, and either half of the people don't message back, the other half don't show up, and then for the select few that do show up, 90% of the time they were so bad it was like I would never even play a public match with them. They were that bad. Like it was just, it's nice to have, like, I spent a lot of time looking for teammates in that 3-week, 4-week span, and it's like I went through maybe between 30 and 50 people and didn't even get one because none of them were good enough to fit me and my teammates' criteria at that time.
Right.
I was like, well, Versus you can send me one if he doesn't like it. No time out of my day or whatsoever until I have to try him out. Like I don't have to take time to message this dude. I don't have to take time to look for him. I don't have none of that. You take care of all that crap for me. I can just play whenever he comes around. He comes around. Said and done, you know? Like
Right, yeah. I mean, and that's exactly true. So for teams just like here, as for Alonis, he's saying that he's missing one person from his team. You know, they spend time out of their day to find these people. They're using their own time instead of practicing and playing and getting banged as a team. They're having to find a replacement. And as soon as they find one, they might drop him. They might lose him. You know, he doesn't show up. He doesn't communicate. He's not good enough. You know, there's all these different factors. And so that takes away from the time from a team to get better and play. And so that's exactly what we do. You know, we're going to take in every team, figure out what skill level you guys are at based upon our own algorithms, and then and go from there. So.
And I know a lot of people, like even whenever you came to me and told me that eventually I'd have to pay for this, the service and everything, it is definitely a little deterring because to want to pay money to be in a program like this is definitely a little sketchy. Especially, like, I remember when you first approached me, I was like, well, is this a scam? Like, is this dude trying to scam me for something?
Right.
Like, I can understand it, but at the same time, with my experience beforehand when the program was up, when everything was 100% free, was a struggle because you would put me with teammates and they just didn't have the dedication to actually show up. They didn't have the dedication to actually continue to grind as much as we needed to. And like if people are paying for the program, there's a so much better chance that they're going to be dedicated. They're going to show up on time. They're going to play what matches need to be played. They're going to put that grind in and actually try to do something with the team, try to do something with their future as a gamer. So I mean,
right.
like, I'd rather spend a little bit of money to be sure that I'm actually going to have a solid team versus have no money spent and have to do everything myself and have to go through that struggle. I mean, shit, I'd give somebody, you know, $5, $10, $15, $20 to find me a solid team that is actually good and, you know, one day we'll trash Optic kind of stuff. Like,
right.
I mean, I'm down, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you know, and that's one of those things we've tried to be more of a community-driven platform where we're not going to charge people, but I'm glad you touched on that as well, too. You know, we've been doing a lot of things for free as a free service, and I think we're going to start transitioning probably the end of September to more of a paid service, mainly for that aspect of, you know, you're only going to get out of gaming what you put in. And, you know, if you're not willing to risk more than money, you're not really wanting to go to travel to tournaments or go and pay for a ticket to go to a tournament. You know, you're not going to get anything out of it. You can spend thousands of dollars on gaming equipment, but if you don't want to go to a tournament, you just think you're going to get big from not putting any more money into it, you're just not. And I can tell you that from personal experience. So yeah, I'm glad you touched on that. It really is true. And so we don't want to charge people a huge amount. We're looking at maybe you know, $5 a month on a subscription basis if you would like. We're also going to be here in the future very soon adding leagues to our service too. And so how that would incorporate with our team building process is once we put you on a team and you have the right 4 people, you know, even if you constantly are switching that, this would be part of it. You get, if you're part of the league, you get the team building service for free. We can just replace somebody that's not on the same level. Or if you want to try to be with somebody else, you can. You just have to let me know. And in this league, it's going to be a paid league for the teams. We're still coming up with the right prices here. But it's going to be really nice for everybody. We'll have some details listed here, posting them on Twitter very soon about it. But we're just trying to make sure that people that are coming to the service have the right mentality of really wanting to become professional gamers. And you know, you can come at any skill level. We'll put you with the right people, and we'll put you in a league that are subdivided into the skill levels of our teams. And so you're not going to be playing people who are just going to obliterate you all the time, but you're going to be playing people who, you know, are at the same skill level or are going to give you a little bit of a challenge. And as you guys progress as a team and get better and better, we'll have different leagues that offer more prize money, more incentives to want to be a part of it. So a lot of those details are still just being formed right now, but it's something to be coming in the future. And you know, maybe from both of you guys, from the gamer standpoint and then also from the team perspective, what do you guys think about that? I know I mentioned that to you guys too a little bit earlier as well. If anybody wants to Chad, do you think that's a good idea or not?
I mean, me alone, personally, me and my team plans on playing in at least one league when World War II comes out. So, I mean, if you throw a league in with you, that's definitely a bonus, because then obviously we're playing in 2 leagues. The more we can grind, the more we can scrim other teams is going to be the best for us. So, I mean, the more competition that we have, the better we'll be.
Right.
And, I mean, obviously, we grind GBs at the moment. We don't mind playing teams that are just terrible because they're free wins, but for us, that's not doing us as like anything as a team. So I mean, if you were gonna put us against a team that we were gonna 100-point club every time we played them in a hard point, that's not doing anything for us. You know what I mean? Like, we want close games, we want hard games, we want to take a loss here and there. That way we can fix what needs fixed, because if you put us with scrubs all the time, we're playing scrubs all the time, and then we're like, oh, we're good enough to go to a LAN, and then we go to a LAN and don't even make it through the first stage of pool play, we're going to be pretty upset. You know
Right, exactly. And that's one of those things, is we're just having not a lack of teams, but a lack of people who are staying together. And so we're really trying to fix a lot of the things that that we use for our criteria to put these people together, and we're hoping that they really stay and create more teams that are, like I said, on the same skill level that you'd be playing. So, I glad that you brought that to our attention. And Scorch, I know you guys had
can I make a quick thought on that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially for you guys, if you're gamers, right, and then you're having struggled with your team that you start off with, you need to realize right off the bat, you're not going to start winning right off the bat. That's just not going to happen. It's a process. When we started off, we were awful. The struggle was to just win a GB match, and then after you win a GB match, we decided, let's go for playoffs. And then we made playoffs. And you just have to set goals for yourselves. Like, you can't just start going right away and think that you're going to be the next Optic Gaming just because you guys are good players. That's not how it works. You need to have team chemistry. The longer you play, the better you'll get, essentially. So even if you lose games, you have to use that to get better. You can't just give up. So, sure, the Elite to Pro thing's a great thing, but it's all on you guys, the gamers, to make this work as well, because Saint, he's doing all he can do for you guys, putting you with teams. He's literally doing all the hard part for you. You gotta go through the easy part and just stick with them and just play the game, essentially. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, I mean, that's true, and something to bring up that Alone brought up too. So our teams that we create, they're not just good for one Call of Duty. You're not just going to find a Call of Duty Infinite Warfare team and that's it, and then as soon as the new World War II beta is ended and you're looking for a World War II team, you need a new one. No, it's actually the opposite. We're finding you teammates who you can play with on any Call of Duty. And so as soon as the new Call of Duty switches and transitions, we will be switching over that completely. So a lot like our other competitors that we have that exist in the gaming platforms that you have, like Major League Gaming and UMG Gaming, where they have the old games involved. We don't do that. We completely drop the last game and go directly to the new one, because that's the one where the prize money is, and that's how it works. And I heard that they're going to be possibly incorporating Capture the Flag back into competitive play, is what I've been told.
Yep,
so we'll, yep, and then maybe Uplink is going to be going away, or Domination might return, which would be really great. I love respawns. I'm a respawn player myself. But yeah, this is pretty much what the service is and what you can expect. And I think we didn't get too many questions here in the chat or on Twitter, so I figured the majority of the questions have been answered from messages that I've sent directly. Before we end the stream, do you guys have anything that you would like to add, or shout outs to anybody or yourself? Well, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in for our setting here. We are going to just go offline and stay tuned. All the evaluation days and times will be posted on our website at elitetopro.com/rules, and you'll be able to check out your times of when you'll be there. Other than that, we'll be in touch. You can always direct message me at Saint_Megiddo, and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys.